Okay, so continuing this session. Now, as we know that RC time constant is there. So here we have to put your the RT time constant. That is how much time is required to tunnel the electron through this barrier. Okay, so that barrier is to be taken as a at the input side as well as at the output side is there. So here we have to put here the RTC, and from this RTC is a time constant, and RT is your the equivalent resistance of the tunnel barrier there, and the C is the capacitance of the dot is there. So here, as here in this condition here, now when we have to say that you are the to observe this phenomena with a single electron, or at a time you have the multiple electrons are to be fluctuating there. Okay. So right now, as a fluctuation in the number of electrons in dot induce change in energy potential there. Okay. So right now what happened, as we are ejecting the electron there. So due to that, what happened, while ejecting, we are not taking the single electron is to be there. As a theoretically, we have to say that, but actually we have to go for as a practical there. There are the more than one electrons are there. There are the more than one electron is to be there. Now, when we are considering the more than one electron is to be there for this, then what happened due to that, to solve this, what is the potential is to be here. So for this potential, we are requiring to put the uncertainty principle there. So we have to apply the uncertainty principle. So from that uncertainty principle, we come to know that how much amount of the potential energy is to be changed there, is to be changed. And this is to be given by the uncertainty principle that delta T is equals to E square by C RT C, and it is greater than that of the Planck's constant. And here, as we see this value is to be there, then it is automatically reduced for the Coulomb blockage effect. That when the Coulomb blockage effect will be observed, that it is the RT, we have to say that here is to be greater than that of the H by E square. What is H by E square? Yesterday we see that you are the quantum resistance. We have to say that it is the quantum resistance. So the value of the RT should be too much greater than that of the quantum resistance. Then and then the Coulomb blockage will be observed. So there are the number of points are to be there to note that. That is, what should be the value of the energy we are applying there? What should be the resistance of the tunnel barrier there? So depending upon that, all these values are to be dependent to observe the Coulomb blockage is there, and that is to be the resistance is to be greater than that of the H by E square. We have to call it as a 25.8 kilo ohm is there. Now, in this single electron transport experiment, actually also that this above term is nothing but it is the quantum conductance also. So same is there, the quantum resistance or the quantum conductance is there. It is E square by, we have to take it as a reciprocal. Now, when we see all these phenomena there, and when we take the control over such type of the switching devices by taking the control over the single electron there, then we are getting the very interesting devices are there, and that device is to be, we are getting here is a single electron transistor. That is when we see the effect of Coulomb blockage in a material, then through that material we can fabricate single electron transistor, and it is totally based on the effect of single electron. That is, only one electron we have to given for the transistor to make the transistor on or the off there. Now, if you have to see that right now it is in a microelectronics. Right now, what the electrons we are going to see right now, which are in the laboratory there, if you take the BC147 or any the transistor is that, to make this transistor on and off, we are requiring million, not millions, too much millions of your the electrons at a times, or the billions of the electrons at a time there. Okay, so there is a loss of what the energy is there. But if you have to say that we are making the same as a transistor as a switch with the help of the single electron, with a single electron, then this is your the device from your the nanostructure. And how much amount of the energy is to be conserved there? How much amount of the energy is to be conserved? So these are the future devices which are to be coming right now in the market there. That is the single electron transistor which is working on a single. So suppose that here, right now, what are your the transistors are in a cell phones right now we are utilizing, and the cell phone has the capacity of your the battery is of your the 5000 mAh. Okay, and if that battery is to be last for 1 day there, okay, and in that there are the normal classical transistors are there. In place of all these classical transistors, if all are the single electron transistors are to be utilized, then see that how much time is required to last this battery of your the 5000 mAh. Okay, for single transistor, if there are the billions of the electrons are required to make this transistor on and off, so too much loss of the energy is there. In place of all this transistor as a classical transistor, if you put your the single electron transistor and it is required only one electron, if it requires only one electron, so what is the battery capacity is that battery will be lost for more than 10 years once you charge. Once you charge, that battery will be last for 10 years. Okay, so these are we have to say that you the advantages which we are getting from this as a nanoelectronics devices.